every session always starts, we always start in puja, which is just resting and allowing ourselves to create a barrier. So my energy is not going to interfere with yours, and your trauma isn't going to come onto me type thing. And then we start this warm-up process where we start at the feet, and we work our way all the way up and all the way down. And I will be getting on the table here in a minute. And all I'm doing is just palm pressing this line. And the line I'm on right now is the spleen line. And the spleen line is in our earth element. And it's asking about where are you satisfied in your life. So if I felt like this line was blocked, those would be the questions I would ask after session. And as I'm moving through this, maybe she's already finding certain things like, maybe I should look at that question more deeply or something like that. So we won't cover every single spot of the line. I always say Thai yoga therapy is where chiropractic and massage meet, because we move everything at a 45 and 90 degree angle so that your body can adjust itself back without those big snap crackle pops like a chiropractor gives you. We're also not doing area specific like a chiropractor. We're just moving you in a manner that your body loves, so it wants to shift back into place. All right, so I will show you our tree pose. It's just a reclined tree pose. We got a figure 4 going on, and I'm going to palm press the outer edge of this leg. We're looking at the liver and the heart line on this space, and we just keep moving, and we have this rocking motion. So I am using my whole body to work their whole body, and I don't add any extra pressure than what this rock gives me. So a certain massage therapist, they have major carpal tunnel in their hands or arthritis, and it's because they're physically forcing our tissue to move into where they want to go, whereas I'm just allowing. I'm just allowing the body. And we always bring you to like an edge point. So on a 0 to 10 scale, we are trying to put you at a 7, trying to get you to an edge, a therapeutic edge, where your body is going, oh, I don't know if I like that, but it doesn't hurt. And that way the body can still relax while we're doing this. The moment the body tenses and tries to react back to the pressure, I'm re-traumatizing that space, and that's not my goal. So this is the pigeon pose. We just move you into these yoga poses. And depending on your flexibility, I might only be able to move you here, but that's further than you would move yourself, right? It's all about getting back into your body, especially when we've gotten ourselves so stuck, we're like, I don't even know how I would function. Like, how do I get myself out of this? So this position, big toe pose, standing big toe. If she was gonna reach out and grab it, that would be hers. So every position that I'm in is also a yoga position. So you can't really tell when I'm on the tabletop version, but if we were down on the floor, I would just be in lunges a lot. So after the legs, I would go up to the arm, stretch it out to the side, flip it over, do the whole side. But before that, we're just going to flip to our sideline position. So I'll have you rotate, and this is why it gets a little awkward on the table. All right, so you're going to put this leg in front. Okay. If for some reason your leg wouldn't be able to go all the way, we would put a bolster under it and allow yourself to meet you where you're at. So we would palm press this entire leg. We would pull this back, stretch it. We would do footwork, and then we would do the same thing here. And then I would bring your whole leg back and stretch you here, which pulls this entire inner groin. And again, these are all yoga positions for her. So you're receiving this therapeutic practice in a more natural way, allowing the body to move as it should move. Okay, then we would do the whole back. So I would use reinforced thumb along the entire spine. So there's those ridges that run right next to the spine. We would get into those and kind of push the muscle tissue away from the spinal column to create space. That's our bladder line, so that's the one that I was talking about with PTSD and things like that. The bladder line represents stuck potential and stuck emotions. So do you feel like you're experiencing stuckness in your life, or maybe you're emotionally numb? There's 2 sides of every question. It can be a yin or a yang. Yin meaning really relaxed, yang meaning aggressive. So emotionally numb would be the aggressive side. Overly emotional would be the yin side. And then we would go up into the neck with the thumb pressure. Okay? And then we can do a full twist. So if I had stretched her out already, I would be allowing a full twist, but I'm not going to do that on her back. And we would twist. And then we would flip to do the other side. But I'll have you go face down. Here. I don't know how comfortable it is, but. And then arms would go down by the side. All right, so we would do a master release. I would be rocking back and forth with my foot if I was on the floor. And this master release allows me to see if she's not moving anywhere in her body. So maybe this part of her back isn't moving, so let's focus on that when I get up there. Like, what position isn't moving, where's the instability, where's the stuckness at? So by doing this whole master release, it should be rocking the entire body all the way from toes to head. Then we would palm press or walk the back of the legs both sides, walk the backs of the feet both sides, and then we would go again down that back. We would parallel the spine, thumb pressure, we could palm pressure with a twist. I can get in here with my elbow, so now you're seeing like all these different forms of techniques that I can do for you depending on where you're at. And then we would do some more arm work by flipping it this way so we can get the underarm and the outer edge. And then after I've done the whole body with different techniques, so this is another one. So again, we're in this figure 4 shape, and I would palm press, and we would do that on all sides. And then everybody's favorite movement, I'll see if I can get up here and make sure I'm not getting her back too much, but it's called the cobra. So I would palm press her entire back, hand walk it back, palm press it again, and then I would have her hold on to my wrists, take a deep breath in, exhale, allow the head to drop down. Okay, so we would take it as far as they could go. I'm not moving her very far because I don't want to, like I said, we haven't gotten her warmed up enough. So then when that is done, the low back might be a little tender, so we're actually going to push spinal fluid. So we move these legs, and you can see the low back starts to shift, starts to move, and it's just pumping. It's a pumping action. Then if that low back is still tender after that, she would go into a child's pose, and then I would press her hips and walk her back again. Go ahead and turn back over onto your back. So after your prone position, we do second supine. Okay, so then we would measure her thumb, and we would go off of her belly button, because each of us have different spaces in our bodies. So your thumb is your measurement. So I would measure her thumb and take it 2 points above, and I would press straight down, and it's uncomfortable, but in a good way, right? So we would press down, she would breathe into my thumbs, and then I would spiral out, just to release stuck energy. And we would do the same thing on the lower belly. And again, that gurgle is usually in this space, and then we come out of it. The last space is cupping. So if you've ever had cupping on your back and stuff, it's the same concept. We go back to the ancient way of cupping, and we would cup the belly button because that was our life source as we grew. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and we would hold it for 10 seconds and then pull out. And that's just stimulating, pulling anything that's stuck out of the body. And then we do a lymph node clearing. So I'm literally going to shift around the breast tissue into the underarms and back up. So I'm not touching your breasts, we're just going around. And then we would do more leg stretching, arm stretching. And then I would pull you, literally pull you up into a seated position. So we'll do this. Okay, bend. Okay. Reach up, grab, wrist, deep breath in, and out. And now you're in the seated position. All right? So I would come behind, and I would work the top of the shoulders, sometimes down the back, depending on what session you are in. And then we would do some spinal twists. Just super simple, pulling it around and taking it as deep as that person wants it or needs it. And we can do above the head to get even deeper. And we would do that on both sides. And then we would do back bends. So normally there's a bolster or a pillow. Ancient times, we would just use our legs. And we would just roll them back, support with a pillow if need be, and then pull the hands all the way back. But like I said, I haven't gotten her warmed up, so I don't want to injure her. And then we would actually rotate the sides. So both hands, we would just pulpate down the entire side of the body. And then we would roll you back, and that would be end of session. One of my clients has the best quote. She came in for her session, and she said, Thai yoga allows me to see the potential in my own body. And I love that, so I use it all the time.
Thank you.
So the last part of what I do is emotional side. So this is my design through a ton of my trainings. You're not going to find it anywhere, but eventually it'll be available for you guys on a public level. So how it works is when we go through an entire session, we pinpoint specific lines that were blocked. Each line has different questions associated with it, and we would kind of move through the chart to find where your imbalances are. Yeah. I think that's it. Thank you guys for joining, and we will hopefully see you soon.